We have public appearances for non-agenda items and new appointments. And we have a couple of mayoral proclamation and mayoral appointments. So we are going to start first with the number one, recognizing March as a Women's History Month, honoring the role of women in leadership and affirming the need to protect and advance women's rights.
Whereas the month of March has been designated nationally as Women's History Month to honor and celebrate the vital role of women in American history, and
whereas women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation, state, and community in countless recorded and unrecorded ways, and
whereas women have been instrumental in shaping our society through leadership roles in government, business, education, healthcare, science, the arts, and countless other fields, and
whereas the advancement of women in leadership strengthens communities by fostering diverse perspectives, equitable policies, and inclusive decision-making, and
whereas despite significant progress, barriers to leadership and equal representation persist, and continued efforts are necessary to ensure that all women have the opportunity to lead and succeed.
Whereas women continue to face challenges due to systemic inequalities, wage disparities, underrepresentation in leadership, and legislative efforts that seek to undermine access to reproductive, healthcare, workplace protections, and other fundamental rights, and
whereas the City of Fitchburg recognizes the importance of uplifting and supporting women in leadership, advocating for policies that promote gender equality, and opposing any legislation that seeks to roll back the rights and freedoms of women.
So now, therefore, it is resolved that I, Julia Arata-Fratta, Mayor of the City of Fitchburg, along with members of the Common Council, do hereby proclaim the month of March as a Women's History Month in Fitchburg. I encourage all residents to recognize and celebrate the achievements of women throughout the history, the importance of women in leadership, and the ongoing pursuit of gender equity, and it is resolved that the City of Fitchburg affirms a commitment to advancing policies and initiatives that support the rights of women and opposes any effort that seek to undermine the freedom and opportunities. This is proclaimed today, March 10 of 2026. Okay, so next one is Proclamation recognizing March 2026 as a Red Cross Month in Fitchburg.
whereas in March we celebrate American Red Cross Month by honoring our neighbors who make its humanitarian mission possible in Fitchburg, Wisconsin, and
whereas every day their acts of kindness change lives, bringing relief, comfort, and hope when help can't wait. This compassionate spirit runs deep in our community, just as it has for 145 years through the American Red Cross, and
whereas today, those who serve with the American Red Cross of Southwest Wisconsin chapter light the way during emergencies, whether it's delivering shelter, food, and comfort after disasters, providing a safe, life-saving blood supply for patients facing conditions like cancer treatments, childbirth complications, and traumatic injuries, assisting military members, veterans, and their families with 24/7 global support, or empowering individuals with skills like first aid and CPR that save lives, and
whereas these collective efforts are a powerful reminder that the strength of our community lies in our shared commitment to one another. And as we mark Red Cross Month, let's celebrate our local heroes and resolve to continue lifting each other up so no one faces an emergency alone. And
whereas in 2025, the American Red Cross held 103 blood drives in Fitchburg, collecting 2,965 pints of blood, taught 594 people first aid, CPR, AED, trained 36 babysitters, assisted 17 families during disasters, and installed 13 smoke alarms.
So now, therefore, I, Julia Arata-Fratta, Mayor of the City of Fitchburg, along with members of the Common Council, do hereby proclaim March as a Red Cross Month in Fitchburg, and I encourage all citizens of Fitchburg, Wisconsin, to reach out and support its humanitarian mission. This is proclaimed March 10, 2026. So come in, and we have Mark Miller, who's gonna want to say some words about the Red. Thank you.
So you want me to stand here? Okay. Well, thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, for this recognition of Red Cross as for March as Red Cross Month. As you recognize in your declaration, there's a lot of cooperation between the Red Cross and the city of Fitchburg. In fact, I think your fire chief was at one time a Red Cross disaster response volunteer. Anyway, so we're very much appreciative of that cooperation. You're a fast-growing city. You had a number of fires, residential fires, and we're glad to be able to help. We would like to be able to reduce fires by installing free smoke detectors for the people of Fitchburg, and that can be done by contacting the Red Cross at the Sheboygan office. And I'll leave some flyers for here, so you can make that information available as you wish. You described all of the ways we've cooperated. One of the things that the Red Cross would like to do is to help the city of Fitchburg become even more resilient by giving more training in CPR and other first aid, AED, water safety, so that you don't have to call the Red Cross to get that. Some of them will be right here in your community. So thank you so much for recognizing the Red Cross and this month. I really appreciate it. I look forward to continuing to work with the city of Fitchburg in the years ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark, for all your services, okay?
Thank you.
So this is for you.
And just one additional comment while we're all getting seated. I know every year the EMS always talks about the survival rates of cardiac arrest. And Dane County has wildly high survival rates for cardiac arrests. Like, I can't remember exactly what the numbers are, and maybe if someone knows off the top of it, but something like normally across the country, it's like 2% survival. And in Dane County, it's north of 20%. And that's because of all the CPR and AEDs, CPR training, and then availability of AEDs in our region. And I know the Red Cross is definitely a huge piece of that, because all of my CPR training was Red Cross training. So anyway, just want to acknowledge that too. It's pretty saving lives, saving a lot of lives. Right, 88 Red Cross volunteers that are volunteers and that are in residents of Fitchburg.
The residents of Fitchburg that are volunteers for Red Cross.
Outstanding.